Welcome back. It's day 3, guys. I wasn't able to trade yesterday. I actually did a lot of studying yesterday and trying to find pattern recognition and whatnot. And today I have a very important video released for my sake on learning market buying and limit buying. So the difference between market and limit buying, and how big even 2-3 cents can make when you're talking about profits. And so I had a lot of gainers, I had a lot of losers, but I had some big gains. But I had one loser that was bigger than all my gains, and so it always ends up turning red. But I learned a very valuable lesson on trying to find the momentum. Or actually, I was gaining such confidence. I was really in the green, and I took one red from one trade. I was trading 5 trades at once. I had 5 trades going at one time. For, as you guys know, this is my 3rd day. And don't do that if you don't know what you're doing. Just don't. But let me explain what I kind of learned today. And if any of this is wrong, please drop in the comments your understanding, or and let me do a little more research on this type of stuff. But if you see the foot daily, that's actually from my FIFA channel. So if you guys are coming in from FIFA, say what's up. But we'll do it like this instead. So basically, I was in the whole 1250. I was positive about 3,500. I was trading today with the full 200,000, and I was going in with some big risk, 10,000 share positions on 3-4 different trades at once. And I was up, and I was doing great at a breakout. And so this is NASP technology. I was kind of trading this one pretty heavy today, and so we kind of got in right at the break. And then we were up through a lot of this, but then on like another trade. So if we go to like FRC, the banks were really pushing today, at least is what I noticed. But you see some big, that's from a couple days ago, I guess. But you see some big drops. And so what I saw was, I was in here. This is one of the trades I was in. And then I wasn't able to catch it until we were about here, because I was in here, and so I wasn't so apparent on this, and my eyes were elsewhere during some of this time period, which I was kind of in and out and just kind of checking it out, but I wasn't experienced enough to be able to limit that risk. And so the main 2 things I wanted to talk about today, at least from my sake, is understanding, when you buy, we're buying at market, or I'm buying at limit. You could also do like a stop loss, but buying at market or at limit. And so the difference between market and limit is basically, market is it's basically at the highest value that it's currently going for. And so let's say it's at 12.27, then I'm trying to buy it at 12.27, but that's not necessarily where it pushes through, due to like routing, due to your broker, due to speed, your internet, all that type of stuff. Maybe it comes in at 12.3. So if it comes in at 12.3, that 3 cents can be a big difference in if you actually maintain profit there, or take a loss off of a smaller trade, creating slippage. And so buying at market, you usually want to buy it in a position, from my understanding. When you're buying market, you're buying for momentum. So like a trade like this, we see 1, 2, 3, and so then the oscillator starts to cross, or we see the MACD values staying high. It's above market average. It dips, it hits at market average, hits market average, and boom, you want to buy maybe through this. And so actually, as it bulls through. But as we also rotate right across, once we get near that the awesome oscillator line, where it predicts essentially a squeeze, that's where that kind of pulls and pushes, is when this crossover, a lot of those breakouts could occur. But and also the same thing with the bear. So right as it crosses over on the bear, and so I wasn't paying attention to that at the time, and I lost big. And so, but the thing about what I learned is I recouped a lot after the breakout, because the breakout seems to me to be the easiest way to make the fastest amount, is buying something that goes up. If you buy something that goes up, you make money regardless if it continues to go up, right? So I think sometimes I make it a little bit more complicated, and I think there are a lot of people out there that probably do this too, but we make it too complicated where we're trying to buy something that's going down thinking that it could go up because you're buying something down. So understanding the trend line is something that I paid attention to on my other trades. So like NAS, has a positive upward trend. You can kind of see that it's trending up, and it's staying flat, but it's staying up in trend. Now like FRC, it went up, and then now it's downward trend. Now it's kind of coming flat. So yeah, so the problem with the way I was trading, which I'll show you my strategy here, what I was doing today is it has to be an upward trend for my strategy really to work. And I mean, I guess anybody's strategy would agree, but and my goal is to essentially, what I was doing is whenever on the Awesome Oscillator on the MACD, essentially as these values, I'm going to change the colors on them. But basically that way it's a little easier to see those difference in values. Basically as this convergence line switches and hits right here, this would tell us when essentially when a crash is, or something that's going to be pulling down a little bit faster, is that the MACD value. And so vice versa, as it starts to hit green values and crossover and convergence, that's when it also starts to show us the squeeze, as the things start to squeeze up and push higher. And so I like to have the Awesome Oscillator here as well to show us some of the volume, I guess the volume here, and how much it can potentially hit. And so if it's above this line, there's a high chance that it'll continue to bull. But if it's below this line, it's a very high chance that it will start to bear. And so as you see right there, there's a bear, boom. And it might miss it, but this is when it's still above the average moving value. So that's probably where it's kind of taking that peak. But once it moved underneath the average, that's where the oscillator shows. And so same thing with but the MACD was able to show essentially to a degree as this start to turn over. This is what I'm looking for. So my actual trade method and the way I was trying to actually present my trades today was after the original first like 30-minute breakout, early breakout. I was looking for these to turn over. As they turned over, I would sell. As they converged, if they bounced off the convergence, I would buy back. But if they converged and dropped, I would try to stay out of this. I would stay out. I wouldn't really even pay attention up here. I would stay out. And so I'd see this green. I say, that tells me something. And then I see low red values. And then I would see it starting to converge. And so if you go back up here, now we're seeing convergence, we're seeing green, we're seeing greens. And so I'd probably get in right around here. And so I wouldn't be buying very low at all. I'd be buying, on the way as we try to trend up and try to get in on something like this. And then ride it, green. We see a higher volume. And then it looks like it peaks, right? As you can kind of follow the peak there. So this can happen pretty quick, these are at 5-minute charts. So, but this is, it's quick, but it's not fast enough to where, even you don't really even have to use hotkeys on this strategy, because you can kind of see the trend pulling over, and then boom, we're in, we're out type of thing. We're in, we're out. So like right here, you can kind of see it starting to peak, and then we're out, right? And I'm trying to get out essentially before this big pullback. And this is like kind of close to like that head and shoulder pattern, I believe. It's sort of like the shoulder one head, and then there's the kind of the shoulder two. And this here is clearly a bull flag right here, boom, DTD. And so as that converges, then that will tell us that we definitely 100% should be getting out from late. I'm looking at it, and it pulls and then converges again down here. And so maybe I'd get back in. I would probably try to get back in around here and then try to pull it. I'd be pulling and holding. I'd be trying to get out. I'd be trying to see it start to turn over around here. I'd be getting out about here. And so some of these aren't like the most perfect and ideal, But you can see how that 1240 and 1235 makes a big difference. And so if I was buying at market and some reason the market was 1240, that's the difference between breaking even and hitting profit. Because if you're, you know, if you're trading with 1,000 shares on $12, 1240 or 1235, you know, that's $12,350 that you're trading with. And so if I'm doing that and then I'm selling at, you know, 12,040, not times 0.95, what am I doing? 12 times 4 minus the 12 times 35, you take the 5% with 0 commissions, and so you multiply that by, was it 10,000 shares, you make $50. And so, you know, that's the difference between making $50 and making nothing. And so if you add that type of stuff up, and the more you trade, the more exponential it can be. And so it's one of those things that what I learned today is trying to really focus on buying right rather than buying at market. And so that's kind of the point of what I was trying to say today is the majority of the trades I was making, I was positive. So I was doing the right strategies and I was doing some of the right things, but I was doing too much at once. And so I was trying to do it too many times because I was still like a 80% correct. But the problem with my strategy was that I missed one big one when it pulled over. And if you see, they move, you know, 5-minute charts at a time or so, but sometimes it can be within a minute. And so if you miss that 1 minute that you're looking at the chart, you're looking at this chart, you're focusing on a different trade, and then something else turns over, that's when I got hit hard on my account. And so I was up 3-4 grand with trading with the full amount, the 200,000 on the demo, trading with TD Ameritrade. But then one trade turned me over, and I was down. I was down. It flipped me to like 2,800 or so. So I was able to recoup about 1,000 on the trade back, but at least I think it was. But that's essentially the recap from today's video. But basically it's Friday, so I believe the market's closed until Monday now. So Monday we're gonna try to get back at it. This is my first day. This is my first time actually like doing a full day trade where I wake up at breakout and I trade through the day, through the bell, trade all the way through the bell, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m., 6:30. So that's the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys, if you guys have anything for me that you guys could say that that works for you guys, I would love to hear that, because I am no expert by any means, but this is just my journey on how I'm going to try to make $1 million, and this is my original strategy that we're making, and so far it seems good. It just I have to clean it up a little bit. And so until next time, we'll see you guys Monday. Peace.